What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, and today we are watching the World History of Food, and this is particularly the history of the frozen pizza. I love frozen pizza. It's one of my favorites. I love especially regular pizza, but special pizza has a special place in my heart. When you're long day at work, you don't have time to cook anything, you throw a pizza in, you cook it up, you enjoy it. Especially, I found out barbecue pizza, the best ever. Barbecue sauce instead of marinara sauce. You get chicken and onions and green peppers. Oh, it's so delicious. But let's look at the history of the frozen pizza now.
Frozen pizza, one of America's greatest culinary inventions. Foodies will scoff as they... Frozen pizza, one of America's greatest culinary inventions.
Hello, mini pizzas.
Foodies will scoff, as they always do. But when you were young and Mom was too exhausted to whip up an elaborate meal,
yeah, exactly.
Frozen pie thrown into the oven at 425 degrees for 15 minutes was the answer to everyone's prayers.
I'm making some pizza right after this too.
Food, we're gonna talk about the history of frozen pizza.
Red Baron, never had that before.
Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel.
There you go. Go subscribe to them.
Below what other unconventional foods you'd like to know more about. Now, no need to preheat your oven. This video is coming out hot and ready.
How frozen pizza is
possible. To truly understand the history of frozen pizza, it's important to have a tiny bit of basic knowledge on the pizza's origins. Before there was a reason to freeze them. While hard flatbread doused with oil and scraps of whatever food was laying around the hut has been around since the Neolithic era, the modern pizza, the kind with various cheeses and tomatoes that you and I are familiar with, didn't appear until the early 18th century in Naples,
Thank you, Italy.
These
one of the greatest inventions ever.
Fresh cheese and tomato pizzas were an instant hit amongst the poor working-class Neapolitans who invented them. They combined the efficiency of sandwiches with the cheesy tomato-ness of Italian food. And since most people of Naples stayed within their city limits, pizza remained a regional delicacy for decades. But all that changed when Italians began immigrating to America in 1880. As the first wave of immigrants settled in the northeastern U.S., Gennaro Lombardi opened America's first pizzeria in 1905. But it didn't start out as a pizzeria.
Oh, interesting.
Lombardi's was originally a neighborhood grocery store.
Oh, so it started out as a grocery store.
One of Lombardi's employees, fellow Italian immigrant Antonio Totono Pero, suggested they try to sell fresh pizzas. Pero's 5-cent large pizzas became so popular so fast, Lombardi swapped their building's grocery store license for a restaurant license. And Lombardi's groceries became Lombardi's Pizzeria.
Oh,
soon
nice.
pizzerias started popping up
Everybody's
all over
after
the
a pizza
East
the
Coast.
action?
Most of them were opened by former Lombardi's pizza chefs, including Pero, who all wanted their own slice of the proverbial pie.
The introduction of freon?
Of course, not every American got to experience the first wave of Italian pizza. Unless you lived in one of New York's 5 boroughs,
New York.
You were probably
so everyone's talking about New York versus Chicago pizza. New York was first.
Pizza was just a twinkle in most rural Americans' eyes. That is until 1928, when 2 General Motors engineers, Thomas Midgley Jr. and Charles Franklin Kettering, changed home refrigeration forever with their invention of freakout.
Oh, I thought they were going to say
this
frozen pizza.
Gas allowed General Motors to introduce their new domestic Frigidaire refrigerator-freezer combo in 1940 to the home market.
Wait, it was a freeze.
To extend the life of freezer combo, it allowed General Motors to introduce their new domestic Frigidaire refrigerator-freezer combo in 1940 to the home market.
I'm just an idiot. I thought it was a dishwasher.
You stored them in a big wooden chest, which was internally cooled with perpetually melting blocks of ice.
So they would put it in a freeze. Well, they would put it in there with ice. That's weird to think about it. At least in 2023.
Modern home refrigerators beginning to fly off American showroom floors. Mom and pop pizzerias got the jump on the home pizza game first. Long before anyone thought
that looks disgusting. Sorry.
Pies. In June of 1950,
that looks
the New York
beautiful.
Times published an article about a
pizza's now offered here, ready to cook. Salon Julian suggested for hot days. The pizzas, which are kept under refrigeration but not frozen, are ready to pop in the oven. Directions on the label suggest cooking them 15 minutes. Okay.
Boston pizzeria selling pre-made, ready-to-cook pizzas. The pizzeria
Boston
did everything
pizza.
except throw the pie into the oven. Then customers could bake the raw pie at home. Soon, New York pizzerias were selling pre-made, unbaked pizzas too. And with that, one of America's first food fads was born. But Joseph Bucci, a Philadelphia pizzeria owner, wanted to take his unbaked, ready-to-cook pizza game one step further, and he filed the first U.S. patent for frozen pizza.
Smart guy.
For making frozen pizza. Once Bucci figured out how to freeze a pizza without the sauce method,
why is it so deformed on the right there? Like it's like pushed in and stuff.
Frozen pizza. Once Bucci figured out how to freeze a pizza without the sauce seeping into the dough while still keeping its original taste and texture, other independent pizza makers took his lead.
Kelsey's?
And small runs of...
See, this is why I love science. Science is good because of stuff like this. Thrift Week buys for the economy-wise. Sliced halibut, fresh scallops, fresh oysters, swordfish steaks, 65 cents, holy shit. Jumbo shrimp, cod fillets, sliced cod, fresh mackerel, cherry stones, look at that, 15 cents, 37 cents, 39 cents, holy crap. Pizza pies, 33 cents, ravioli, 59 cents. Holy.
The regional frozen pizza brands started popping up all over local grocery stores.
The early mass-produced frozen pizza era.
One of the very first pizzaiolos to master Bucci's frozen pizza technique was Jack DeLuca of East Cleveland, Ohio.
So we reached out to Ohio.
First-generation Italian-American
we had
community.
Philadelphia, Boston, New York, and now Ohio.
Pizzaiolo is Italian for a professional pizza chef, and it's also a fun thing to shout at your Domino's delivery driver. After experimenting with different ways on how to preserve his pizzas for months at a time, DeLuca perfected how to freeze pizza. Suddenly, he was selling $20,000 worth of pizza every month in 19...
That is $20,000 in 1952. Holy shit. He was rich at that time then.
Converted for inflation, that would be
$223,000 a month.
$223,000 a month in today's
Holy.
economy. That's a lot of dough. All that said, it was Rose and Jim Totino who took the frozen pizza game to new heights.
I know that name.
That name probably hit your ears.
Yeah, it does.
Dog whistle. Once their Minneapolis pizzeria couldn't keep up with their customers'
now we're in Minneapolis.
500 pizzas a day.
500
the husband and wife
pizzas
team
a
built a
day.
large frozen pizza plant in 1962. While Bucci, DeLuca, and other independent frozen pizza manufacturers might be able to produce a couple hundred pies on a good day, Totino's could produce hundreds of pies an hour.
They just took over the game at that point.
To factory production. 13 years later, after becoming America's top-selling frozen pizza manufacturer, Rose and Jim Totino sold their brand to the Pillsbury Company in 1975 for $22
Pillsbury
million.
Doughboy.
With the acquisition of Totino's, Pillsbury became the instant leader of the frozen pizza industry, but their monopoly didn't last for long. Big players like the Schwan Food Company out of Minnesota bought the Kansas-based
this is
Frozen
the pizza explosion,
in 1970 and Red Baron's Frozen Pizza in 1975 to take a big slice out of the frozen pie market. Kraft also got in the game when they bought the Tombstone pizza brand, which was just starting to make some
I heard that was
serious
horrible,
headway
the
in
Tombstone one.
as well. By the way, what's with the frozen pizza brand?
Oh, look at that.
Some serious headway in the independent market as well.
That cheese does not look good right there. That looks disgusting.
By the way, what's with the frozen pizza brands having weirdly sinister names? Tombstone was the product of a pair of brothers, Pep and Ron Simic, who co-owned the Tombstone Bar in Medford, Wisconsin. When the Simics noticed how popular their in-house pizzas had become, they made frozen versions and shipped them around the country. By the time the Simic brothers sold their pizza to Kraft, it was the third most popular frozen pizza in the country.
The third?
All three brands are still spinning pizzas today, with Red Baron hanging on as one of America's top-selling brands.
I've heard good things about Red Baron. Frozen pizza gets held up by the feds.
It was around
what
this
the
time
hell would
in
the
the
feds
early
have to do
70s
with
when
this?
frozen pizza got caught up in bureaucratic red
That's
tape
a lot of cheese right
and
there.
shady strong-arm politics, which almost crippled the market. Alarmed at the increased use of cheaper imitation cheese in frozen pizzas, the Wisconsin Cheesemakers Association tried to force the United States Department of Agriculture, you know them as the USDA, to set regulations on how much real cheese had to be on
They
a frozen
put a
pizza.
regulation for how
The
much real
correct
cheese is
answer
in
is
pizza.
all of it, right? All of it should be real cheese. Actually, no. To keep costs down, frozen pizza manufacturers would use less cheese. So it was in the U.S. government's interest to force laws that insisted that
that's
every
why it
frozen
looked
pizza
so
had to
disgusting in
consist
that
of
cheese
12%
then.
real cheese.
12% cheese?
That's it. Still tastes pretty good. This mainly happened because America's annual dairy surplus was beginning to stockpile and go bad, and the aforementioned USDA was already spending nearly $3 billion a year to buy excess cheese from local farmers. In short, the American cheese industry wanted a slice of the frozen pizza industry's share of
that looks like delicious cheese right there.
Those cheesy, delicious bastards. When American consumers realized their frozen pizzas tasted different and began to rise in price, the USDA immediately received 5,600 letters from angry customers.
Yeah.
The consensus of the letters was that American frozen pizza lovers did not want their pizzas regulated by the government.
Yeah. So I love it, especially when you're doing certain things in the world where it's like, oh, I wish this was made in my country. And then the price goes up. It's like, I can't pay this. Why would I want to pay this? Like, if you want higher quality, you got to pay for higher quality.
With rising costs being their highest concern. After similar strong-arm tactics were implemented by the National Milk Producers Federation in the early 80s, the USDA's enforced cheese tactics eventually faded away, ensuring that frozen pizza manufacturers could keep the cheese out of their pies and their prices low.
So I wonder what frozen pizza 2.0. So I wonder what the current percentage of cheese actually is in pizzas right now. I wonder if they'll say it.
In addition to being besieged by the USDA's non-regulated cheese distribution fiasco,
Superman cheese.
The frozen pizza market of the 60s and 70s had grown stagnant. Every brand featured a flat and round slab of dough with tomato sauce, cheese, and basic toppings like pepperoni, sausage, and standard
basics,
veggies.
yeah.
And while boring pizza has the advantage of still being pizza, variety is the spicy meatball of life. It wouldn't be until the 80s that the frozen pizza market would see radical changes. Thanks to Stouffer's Pizza,
pizzas?
an independent frozen pizza manufacturer out of Ohio. Known mostly for its frozen lasagna, mac and cheese, meatloaf, and ravioli, Stouffer's popularized the oh-so-delicious French bread pizza at the start of the 1980s.
Nice.
If we'd stuck with tradition,
I love that
it wouldn't
stuff.
be so good.
According to legend, Stouffer's new pizza was invented / stolen after one of their hungry employees stumbled out of a late-night dance club and found Bob Petrolos selling his unique
So he
French
was
bread
drunk
pizza
and
out of the
he
nearby
stumbled
food
out.
truck. That Stouffer's employee took Petrolos's French bread crust idea back to the office, and suddenly, Stouffer's was in the frozen pizza business. Honestly, one would expect most pizza innovations come on the back end of a desperate hangover. Several
Get
years
drunk
later,
and eat
in
some food.
1983, Paul Marriage and his brother David invented Hot Pockets. A twist
I
on
love
the
Hot
pizza
Pockets.
with roots tied to the calzone.
Hot Pockets and
Another
Pizza
dish
Pockets.
that originated in Naples about 100 years after they invented the modern pizza. The new trick with Hot Pockets was that the Marriage brothers were able to design a wraparound packaging sleeve along with a special dough formula.
I never used that
created a
sleeve
flaky
at all.
crust when thrown into a microwave. Bagel Bites came onto the frozen
Bagel
pizza scene a
Bites!
couple of years after Hot
Yeah.
Pockets in 1995.
That's my jam right there.
Florida businessman Bob Mosier
I hate that they're
and
leaving
Stan
Canada.
Garzinski invested $20,000 into the simple idea of
fucking
mini
bullshit.
bagels
I want my
topped
Bagel
with pizza
Bites.
sauce, cheese, and bits of pepperoni and sausage. A simple yet brilliant idea, like windshield wipers, for instance.
Is that Nick Cage?
Thanks to a catchy jingle that dared parents to feed their children pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh yeah, because they had the breakfast Bagel Bites too. Fucking love Bagel Bites.
Plus the fact that the brand convinced popular pro skateboarder Tony Hawk to be the official Bagel Bites spokesperson, Mosier and Garzinski's $20,000 gamble paid off, making their invention the top-selling frozen pizza product among kids under 16. Of course, Hot Pockets and the Bagel Bites could not exist without Pillsbury's Susceptor,
Preparing food
an
for
invention
microwave.
that wasn't improved
Yeah, because
until
you just throw them in the
1980,
microwave, you
years
cook it,
before all
and
of
you
those
got it.
novelty microwavable snacks made the scene. Pillsbury's Susceptors are those glossy gray.
Yeah, before they
plastic
left
pieces
Canada,
of
they were
white
only like
cardboard
$2.
that go beneath your microwavable
They were
pizza
cheap.
and burn the out of your fingers every
Yeah.
single time. Not only did they make Hot Pockets and Bagel Bites possible, but also reduced the cooking time for a frozen pizza from a quarter of an hour to a few minutes.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Frozen pizza.
Bring back
would
Bagel
never
Bites
be
in
the
Canada.
same again.
The invention that rocked the industry.
French bread pizza, Hot Pockets, and Bagel
Yeah.
Bites were all whimsical riffs on frozen pizza. And there's no question that these kid-oriented snacks carried the frozen pie industry throughout the touch-and-go 80s.
Okay.
However, the most important innovation to rock the industry happened in 1995. This was the year that Kraft Foods reinvented the frozen pizza game forever with their new line of DiGiorno frozen
yeah.
pizza, which featured a patented rising crust. Don't bother looking for the DiGiorno family, though. The Kraft marketing department baked up the Italian-sounding surname to convince their pizza-eating customers.
Oh, so they just made up the name?
Italian roots. And if the authentic-sounding DiGiorno name didn't convince Americans to give
it's
this
not
new
delivery,
pizza a
it's
try,
DiGiorno.
well, the commercials like this one certainly did. Ads featuring tantalizing visions
of look at that.
rising golden brown crust had everyone convinced that DiGiorno's pizza was as good, if not better than, the pie delivered by your local pizzeria. And in some
I will
cases,
admit, some of them they are.
Was.
Oh yeah, I guess
DiGiorno's
yeah.
is pretty good, and some delivery is pretty bad. Along with additives such as gums, protein,
like there's
film
some
formers,
frozen pizzas that are actually better than real
pizzas
pizzas from certain places.
Its structure during freezing and thawing. DiGiorno's innovative crust included oils, yeast, and baking soda to strengthen the pizza's foundation, helping it stay hydrated
They are so
rather
delicious
than drying
too.
out. And thanks to the combination of savvy
and it's
marketing
BS that
and
they're
unique
leaving
rising
Canada
crust,
as well.
DiGiorno not only became the top-selling
We lose
frozen
every
pizza
good
brand
stuff.
in the world within a year,
But at least
its
we have
sales
Kinder
still
eggs.
account for nearly half of all frozen pizzas sold today. So, what's in store for the future of frozen pizza? It's hard to predict.
Yeah.
Currently, there's a big push to make frozen pizza healthy.
Was that? That's good. Classic crust. Or was that like the vegan healthier styles?
With things like cauliflower crust, which seems a bit
No, thank you.
counterintuitive to the entire
No, thank
ethos of
you.
a frozen pizza. Listen, some things just weren't meant to be. Frogs were not meant to fly.
Exactly.
And pizza is never supposed to feel like the responsible.
Thank you. Somebody
But
said
until
it.
some brilliant mind at a frozen food manufacturer can recreate the pizza
Back to the Future
scene
2.
and Back to the Future 2 for the consumer market, we're probably going to be waiting a while for the next frozen pizza revolution.
I'll be here
so
for
what
it.
Do you
I
think?
hope.
What's your favorite frozen pizza?
Mine is the barbecue pizza. DiGiorno, unfortunately, is leaving Canada, which I'm pissed about. But yeah, I absolutely love pizza. If I had to go to a famous pizza place, it would probably be, I want to say Little Caesars. I love their stuff. I do like Domino's though. Pizza Hut is okay. Like, I liked it as a kid, especially when you got your good grades and you got that free pizza voucher. It was amazing. I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys like that. Click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time.